So today we'll be pouring up our student impressions. So I have some Dexter ones here, but there will be student impressions. We're going to pouring them up in stone, and then we'll be creating two bases, one for the maxillary, one for the mandibular. One will be a horseshoe shape, and one will just be a whole patty. We'll be using our drying squares to make those. So since we got these first, we're going to pour these molds up in stone. So I'll go ahead and get that going. So for mixing stone, every 30 milliliters of water, you'll need 100 grams of stone. So I got my 30 mils right here. Let's add 100 grams. $74. We got our water in the mixing bowl. We're going to add our powder to the water. And mix. And you're looking again for that peanut butter consistency. Spatulate. Alright, we have our stone here. We'll go ahead and move our vibrator in. And then to remove all the air bubbles. You can turn up the vibration. Getting all the air bubbles out of it. Alright, and we'll pour up our impressions here. Again, letting it flow in. Cover all the anatomy of the tooth. You can turn up your vibrator to get more flow. Alright, so first impression. Do our second one. Then slowly adding on material. Letting it flow in from the back, moving forward. Alright. So those were our two impressions filled. Now we'll work on the bases. So we'll need about another 100 grams of stone to make our bases a horseshoe and a patty base. Alright, we have our 100 right there. And again, water, we need 30 mils to that 100 grams of stone. So there's 25. Plus another 5. Move this out of there. We'll add that powder to the water. mix. Spatulate it. Put it on the vibrator once again. Get all the air bubbles out of it. Alright, and now we'll make our bases. Patty's pretty simple. Take your material, slap it on there. We're doing this so we can carve these impressions and use them to make fabricated mold or fabricated appliances like your fluoride tray or your whitening tray there. So that's our first, that's the patty. Okay. And then you would just take your maxillary mold and place it on the patty. That's one done. And then we'll do our horseshoe. We're just going to add access to our impression here. It's already in a horseshoe shape. So there we have it. We're just gonna pop that guy right there. And we have our horseshoe. Alright. We'll let these dry for about 20 minutes. And then I'll go ahead and remove this plastic tray. You want to be very gentle so you don't break the patty underneath. Right. You might have to carve around some pieces because they are attached directly to the bite surface, so you removed it like that. And you can go ahead and start to remove this. Again, without breaking the base. That's the important part. Okay. All we have to do now is just remove the alginate. Alright, this one's ready for next lab where we'll trim it out, but we'll also fix any little air bubbles or holes in the model. We'll do the same for this mandibular one. Alright, you can see here, again, needs some trimming. So in our next lab, we'll do our trimming of these models just to get them ready for our appliances. All right, see you next lab.